What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I thought it would be really interesting and helpful to talk about 10 of my favorite formulations when it comes to cream products. Now I'm going to be highlighting cream cheek products, so we're talking about cream blush, highlighter, and bronzer. I do tend to lean more towards having a lot more cream bronzer, and then of course cream blushes, and then lastly I have the least amount of cream highlighters. This is just the order, I guess, that's happened just by the natural thing of my interest. I am more interested in cream bronzers than I am maybe in cream blushes, and then of course in cream highlighters. If you are interested in seeing though my kind of list of top 10, then let's get into it. So I do want to preface this by saying this is not ranked by any means. Honestly, I could not probably rank any of these. It's just not in me. I do enjoy all of these formulas for different reasons. What I am going to be doing though is grouping these based on the type of product it is. So I'm going to talk about the highlighters, then the blushes, and then we're going to round out with the bronzers. I will go ahead and do my best to link down below any videos that I have referencing these products. It'll be a lot easier, and I know I have videos referencing all of these bronzers. The cream blushes though, I'm not confident, but I do know the one cream highlighter that I am discussing in this video. I have talked about it on my channel, not thoroughly, so this will give you guys a little bit more of a review on the product, but yeah, that's all I got. So let's stop rambling. We're going to start off with the cream highlighter that I do want to highlight. Like I said, I don't have very many cream highlighters. I think currently right now I have this formulation and maybe one other, and this is the one that I like the most. And if we were looking in other products, I just prefer this formula over even some of those other formulations. So this is the Merit Beauty Bounce Highlighting Balm, and what I like about this is that it quite literally is a balm, so it has a very kind of balmy formulation. It is a very smooth formulation, but the shade when it goes on my skin is just beautiful. It really blends in. You get kind of like a glassy pinky kind of finish going on, and I really like it. Now there are different ways obviously to put this product on. You can warm it up on the back of your hand and then kind of dot it on, as I think is a method that I believe I worked with the last time I did this, and that is a method that I do prefer, but be careful not to kind of overblend. I did just blend this product and you can't really see it anymore. So if you do want to really see the shimmer and really see the color and like that reflect, do take the time to kind of dot it, but also kind of build it. What I will say is be careful how much product you have under this. This can lift up products lightly or slightly based on just how much you have under it. So I would not recommend having on like a full beat and then trying to put this on. I would recommend really having minimal makeup, as this brand kind of is all about, and then dotting this on just over like maybe like a CC cream or just a base foundation and all of that. So that would be kind of my one caveat with this product. I did also forget to say this was sent to me for free, so that's the only product that was sent for me for free, but that genuinely is my favorite of the 2 or 3 cream highlighters, and I did at least want to talk about at least one cream highlighter, so I did want to make sure to keep that in this video. Okay, now cream blushes. I have 3 different formulas that I want to talk about, and they all are actually matte, which is quite interesting. They're all matte. There is one that's a little bit more satin kind of skin-like finish, but they all very much dry down to a matte finish. So the mattest of the 3 is actually this one. This is the Fenty Beauty Cream Balm, and I have this in the shade Daiquiri Dip. Now, or is it Drip? Yeah, it's Dip. Now, I got a lot of use out of this the past summer, but I don't tend to reach for this all this much because of the shade. It's just not a shade that I gravitate towards wearing kind of every day or even halfway consistently. But I really do like the formula. I tend to prefer to actually use this with a sponge. If you have a nice sponge, get that in there and then just dot it on. I find that it works beautifully. You can also use your fingers. I would not recommend using this with a brush though, because the product is so dry in the pan. It might be really hard to pick up, and then if you try and apply it with the dry brush, I find that you might once again pick up product. So you definitely need something to kind of warm up this product so that it can lay on your skin kind of seamlessly and really nicely. The next kind of driest finish that you get is actually from Danessa Myricks, and these are her color fixes. Now I picked these up purely to be cream blushes, so this is why I'm kind of highlighting them in this situation, but you can use these for anything and everything that you would like. So the shade that I like the most is actually Rustic, which as you can see is kind of more of a neutrally shade, but I also do have Carrot Top. Really good formula. This is it's really nice. The smallest amount, just go ahead and dot it on the back of your hand, or if you have like a makeup palette or something, go ahead and dot it on that, and then you kind of brush it onto your cheeks or wherever, and it just beautifully lays, beautifully blends in. I really like this formula a lot, and yeah, that's that. And then kind of another really high value blush formula that I wanted to highlight in this video is actually from Rare Beauty. Now I don't reach for this a lot, and I don't know why, but it's a fantastic formula. I think right now I'm just really focused on trying to hit pan in my powder blush, that I haven't really been giving my cream blushes as much attention as I maybe should, but I promise you all, this is a fantastic formulation. And this one, like I said, is the Rare Beauty. This is her like matte formulation, and this is actually in the shade Love. Really pretty, kind of neutral terracotta-y shade. Really love the shade, love the formula. I do actually like to use this with a brush, and when I do use a brush, I use a very fluffy brush. Something like this. This is the type of brush that I will use, and I can just blend it in beautifully. I use this type of brush for all of my kind of cream blushes other than that Fenty. And honestly, I just remembered that there is a formula that I actually like more than Fenty. Sorry, we're going to talk about 11 products because I definitely, for some reason, my brain forgot to pick this up. This is actually from ABH. So this is her cream blush in Peach Caramel. This is a really nice shade. Again, very neutral shade. As you can see, a lot of these cream blushes really are neutral shades, and I get the most use out of a shade like that. But this blends really nicely, and this is kind of more into a soft matte. You see how it nicely blended into my skin, but you still get the color. So if I had to do a chopping block out of all of these formulas that I've just mentioned for the cream blush, I would chop off actually this one, because this one's a little bit more touchy and it's a lot drier than I would necessarily enjoy right now. But overall, these are really good formulas right here, highlighted with these cream blushes. All right, so 1 2 3 4 5 6. I have 6, and then I have a bonus as well for bronzer, so let's get into it. I am just going to go ahead and highlight, of course, the one that is in my project pan. This Danessa Myricks cream bronzer is so pigmented, so blendable, but it's so beautiful. I just really like it. I like it all. This is something that you can use with both a brush, with a sponge, and your hand, and I really like that flexibility and that kind of, that's just everything. It can be blended out to really work with a lighter coverage product, but I will say it's mainly there for a full coverage beat where you're just trying to beat to the gods. But because of how this blends and how skin-like it blends, you can really have a full-on face but look like you have no makeup. So I would recommend that for anybody who is interested. And I am just going to go ahead and tag along her other cream kind of cheek product, which this is her contour, or her Balm Contour. I have it in the shade Deep 1. For me, this is still quite warm compared to my undertone, and so I use this as a cream bronzer. I really like this formula. As it says, this is a lot more of a balmy formulation though, whereas this one the bronzer is definitely more cream. So I think it definitely matters which one you fancy. You can get a lot easier with a lighter coverage with this one than you can with this one. And then as you can see, there's quite the stark difference in color range. This is the only kind of dark shade that will work on me, whereas there are, I believe, 3 deeper shades in this line that could work for somebody else. So there's definitely some diversity in her range, and I really do appreciate that. And yeah, really enjoyed Danessa Myricks bronzer cream contour range. The next range I wanted to go ahead and highlight is actually Tower 28. I really do like their bronzer range a lot more than I prefer their cream blush range. I don't know what it is, how the formulations are different, because you would think they would be the exact same packaging and all of that, but I find that this actually is not as emollient, so that when I put it on my skin, I actually get that the shade perfectly on my skin, whereas with their blushes I get a lot more of that balmy sensation. So it blends away very easily, and I don't necessarily like that, especially because that balmy finish, really, your hair, everything can stick, whereas these I feel give you a lot more of a dry finish, so I can apply, you know, a bronzer, powder bronzer on top, or just be satisfied with either of these. If you needed like a preference, I would say check out my 2 videos. I do have a video reviewing both of them separately and actually comparing them. And it just kind of depends on what type of undertone you like and the amount of depth that you like when it comes to your cream bronzer. Then we have another Rare Beauty product, and this is actually her cream bronzer stick. So this is in the shade True Warmth. I picked this up pretty much right when it launched, and I've loved this. This is a really good formula. The ease in which this formula blends out is insane. It does give you that kind of matte powder finish situation, like creamed powder, pretty much that finish. That's what you're getting with this, but it's so beautiful. But what I'll say, I will warn you, if you do not like a very strong warm undertone, don't even play yourself by checking out this line. From what I've seen, pretty much every shade in this line is extremely warm undertoned, so it may not be something that is helpful. So definitely don't play yourself too badly, and hopefully it works. Then we have the Sye Bronzer. Now this is a bronzer I was so excited about, and this is another fantastic bronzer. It not only just applies beautifully, but it blends so effortlessly that it is insane. Highly recommend this formula. And once again, it does kind of give a little bit of a powder-ish matte situation, although it is a little bit more skin-like. I would say if you need an equivalent, it has the formulation equivalent of the Danessa Myricks cream bronzer, but it has kind of the finish, the skin-like finish as her balm does. So really love this formulation. Highly recommend. Then we have the Tah Bronzer Duo. I have it in the darkest shade available, which is She's Chiseled. I love this bronzer duo. Now I would recommend this a lot more than the cream blush, just because I don't necessarily like the powder of the cream blush that I have. I do need to maybe try another duo and see if it's just that duo shade. But the cream bronzer is beautiful by itself, but also applying that powder and that combination, it's just outstanding. Highly recommend it. I really enjoy it. And then the last kind of bonus item that I wanted to talk about is actually another ABH product. This is actually her cream bronzer, and this is in the shade Hazelnut. Once again, I would say this is the most comparable in formulation, finish, all of that, to the Sye Bronzer. They day and night, although as you can see, this ABH does not have as strong or of a orange or a red or warm undertone as the Sye does, but to me they both blend beautifully, and I have never shied away from having an undertone that is too warm. If you guys see what I love bronzer wise and the bronzers that I finished up, you just know I don't shy away from a really warm bronzy undertone. So a lot of bronzers that I wanted to highlight in this video, but as I said, I do tend to reach for more cream bronzers than I do any other range, and so that's why I really wanted to highlight so many. I apologize for the audio. I forgot to move my mic too close to me, so I hope I was able to fix that in editing. But I also just hope that this was helpful for you all. It's helpful for me to kind of remind myself of these fantastic formulations that I have, as so many new formulations are coming out every day, and as I'm trying to once again remember all of my goals in the background. Maybe it's not the smartest thing to buy yet another cream bronzer when I have such beautiful formulations that could potentially turn any minute now. You know, I love makeup, I love trying makeup, but I don't want my makeup to turn before I'm able to finish it. So I have a lot of really beautiful formulations here, and if there's any one formula that you would like to see me demonstrate on my face in a video, or if you would like to see some swatches or anything like that, just comment down below and I will do my best to get back to you all with providing you the swatches or the video that you require. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.